He's a so-called white man. When you go to the Middle East, who's over there? White people claiming that they're part of the Arabs, when the real Arabs were dark-skinned people. You got white
This is a tuner. This is an essential part of this. Without this, the show will not go on.
Where's this going to be filmed at? This is in Germany, right?
It's in Germany?
This is in Germany?
Yeah.
Sisters walk tall, white coats have a ball, looking under lenses to find the original. Pardon me, madam, but you're looking at her. The essence of life in a black carbon rack. Wonder, rolling the dice like 7-Eleven, wondering where in the hell is my heaven. But if you live right and preach what you practice, realize I know life emerges comes like a heaven to zone, but you to rise slow to the next plateau. Heaven is peaceful, your mind is intact. Let some of us don't crack, produce the utopia next to below your bang, the original man in Ethiopia. Let's go back to a time real far. Through a mellow man walk the stars indeed. That's pushing in the cells of the sun. We ain't put it here for fun. It's just the ooze. We're in the ooze of the creator. Now with the latest in the future. Away back when the S-O-N could be the S-U-N. African possessed this knowledge they had. In the Great Pyramid, you can find the sad ones and build the business from man to the sun. And we ain't put it here for fun.
Take that back home, brother. See ya.
He's my son. And who am I, right? I'm the horn player from D-Funk, John Mulcairn, that's me. And you'll be seeing him on stage in a few years. Are you a musician? Do you play music? What do you play? He's studying right now.
This is the lineage here. This is the 90s lineage. Yeah. It's the lineage. I want to live in peace. Yeah, he gives Donovan the close one. Yeah, right. Peace. Say lineage for the 90s. Say lineage.
Yeah. Hi.
This is my daughter.
I say Hi.
Young D-Funkster. Let me show you this.
That's a guitar. I'm so glad I have rain came today. Otherwise, everything would die.
Yes. Do you know what that means? I was there when it fell. I played a concert when it fell. Yeah, Nina Hagen.
Practicing.
Okay, I'm ready now. I'm ready for this. Shit! mind. Stick to me close like glue. I ask myself, where did you come from? I still ain't got a clue. I raid your fire to the bone. You know there's pretty songs about you. Think about you and your animal's eyes and your freak-out fairy tale hairdo. Got me tripping, 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 tripping all over you. Make my mind come unglued. You got me flipping my wig, doing all the freaky things. Wells inside me gets real wild, but it's good. You a funny looking thing, but I love you strong like a real man should. You a freaky, diggy lover, freaky, diggy, I swear. Got a weird type of way you capture my mind with those freaky, sexy clothes that you wear. Trippin', 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 trippin' all over you. You make my mind come unglued. Got me flippin' my wig. When I first came to New York, I literally made my rent playing on the street. You know, you play on the street, you put your bucket out there, and you play your little songs. And if you played your songs all day long, you know, you might get $40, $50, you know what I'm saying? You may throw a few popular tunes in there, people throw a little more money. But that's just to say, if I did that in Chicago, the police would run you off the street because they weren't used to that kind of you know, you couldn't just get out and hustle like that. Where New York is a hustle town. And also I think that Chicago is more, well, I think New York is more opportunity in that they're used to new things happening, you know. You could have a new idea and it could, you know, it could be more readily accepted here than in Chicago. My father was Haitian and my mother was American, and grew up in Chicago, Illinois, south side of Chicago. I graduated high school and received a scholarship to the University of Chicago to study with Bunky Green, who was a pretty well-known local musician, excellent saxophonist. And I went there for one semester and I left for New York at the age of 18. I picked up the guitar at 14 and studied, you know, basically with a few teachers, but really learned most of it in the street, you know, playing funk tunes by James Brown and Sly Stone and songs like that. That's where I really first learned it. When I came to New York, my interest was at that time more into jazz, and I worked with musicians like Elvin Jones and McCoy Tyner and you know, people of that nature when I was 18, 19, 20. I worked with Miles Davis on Amandala, his record, and since then I've been doing some hip-hop records. I have a song that's in the movie Boys in the Hood. It's a hip-hop kind of song that I wrote and played some guitar on. and also work with, you know, D-Nice, other rappers like that. Moving to New York was more of a career because the people that were well-known doing the kind of music that I was interested in were in New York. And it was either New York or LA, but the more creative people were in New York. And that's where I said, well, I want to be with the best, you know, who's doing it, you know.
Going back to the roots, little blues. He was a stranger, so bad, a real Blackstone Ranger, so sad. Did nobody know what to do with him? 'Cause he's playing with your guns, shooting up just for fun, running the streets, running wild. It's too much for a child. Didn't know no better than what he's told, 'cause he never had his mother teach him right from wrong. You know where she is? She's out smoking that dope and running all over town. You know what that sounds like? Death sentence over his head. He's just good as dead. Boy hit 19 years old, hanging without the chief gang lovers, so I'm told. Bullets start flying like fire in the air. Boy got shot down, standing there, full of blood, some broken glass. Why'd he get up to go down that way?
Where I get into a real problem is when other people come and tell me what they think I should be doing. That's when I just, you know, I have to kind of get away from things. And I think a lot of artists make that mistake because if you don't feel it inside you, it's almost like committing emotional suicide, spiritual suicide. You're doing something that you don't believe in, and suppose the record does become famous. That every night you gotta go out and play this bullshit that you didn't feel in the first place. You know, to me, you know, I never want to put myself in that position, you know. You know, I like living life, you know, I don't want to be, yeah, and I don't want to be depressed having to go to work. You know, when I go to stage, that's my work, you know, I want to go feeling good, like anything is possible, you know, and that my creativity is a part of my job, you know. When you're trying to find a formula for success, some kind of a manufactured formula, then creativity is no longer part of your job. You know, the formula is too contrived, you know, and it's not fun, you know. It's not fun, and let's face it, that's why we all started. It was fun. I mean, you picked the thing up and it was fun. Now you start thinking in the other terms and it stops being fun anymore. So, you know, I just happen to think I can make much success and share my music with a lot of people, and it could be fun too. I mean, I really believe that it should be that way.
Make them feel good. Freddie Cash, Jean-Paul Bourelly.
Don't listen to him. I don't even know who is this guy. I don't even know who.
Listen to me.
Are you from New York?
Oh! Listen to me.
Hey! Woo!
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Well, that's the best I can do. Boy, y'all burning me. Let's just see where she look on camera.
It's me mom, man.
I love.
Oh, come on.
They definitely
This is my niece. This is the future funk.
Looking
looking into this room, you can see it's not a situation just one band following the other, but a lot of people who are trying to express the same thing.
Yeah, we're all family here. That's the thing. That's right. It's a family thing.
And it's a thing that's time has come. You know, it's been about 10 years. All these guys, I mean, I've known this guy for 13 years. He was doing what he's doing now 13 years ago. The time was not right. We did not have certain support. There weren't any clubs. But as you keep doing it, young people even start picking it up. And then maybe people even also get tired. They want something new. And that's when you can emerge. I think that's what this hopefully is the start of.
Is it also true that, I mean, the guitar is coming back?
I hope so. I hope live music is coming back.
Because I think that it is essential because the guitar was one of the few instruments that the computers, the synthesizers, and the drum machines, they couldn't imitate the guitar. It was always they had the drum machine and all the synthesizers, but you had to get a real guitar player when it came down for the guitar parts, you know. So, and because of the touch and everything. So, it is definitely something that's coming alive, you know, because we've been into the computerized music for so long now. It's just a natural cycle that we go back into the natural things.
So Jimmy, Mr. Hendrix, James Hendrix. James Hendrix is still alive. James Hendrix.
This is wild, Fred. Somebody just took a picture, man. It looks crazy.
It looks like you. Oh. It's definitely you.
Oh, man. Oh, man. I didn't realize
rock and roll animal.
Oh,
there you go.
No way. That's a definite challenge, you know. I mean, as far as that goes, it's okay for me to be in the Pretenders. It's okay for me to be in Joe Cocker's. It's okay for me to be in Billy Squire or whoever else's band that I've done. I've done a lot of them. It's okay to be in the back. The minute you step front, then, oh, wait a minute. You know, and I just think it's somewhat of a fallacy. I think that the kids could care less. I think I'm dealing with, not only me, but most people are dealing with an old kind of regime. They're thinking the old way. I think the kids don't care what color you are as long as you're good.
Better for my health. I'm a believer. I'm a believer in you. For a better way. I'm a believer. I'm a believer in you. For a better way. There's far too many homeless people. Good God, drugs and drugs stand in the way. Good people together.
was in sort of a organization. It was like a boys club in Harlem on 131st Street. And it was called the United Block Association. It was very interesting. And I used to travel all the way from the Bronx, and I met a whole new set of friends. And we started playing, and the leader, sort of like the Boy Scout leader, was this guy that played guitar, and he was very much into West Montgomery. His name was Leon. And I used to go to his house after the meetings on Friday night and watch him play. And I was, whoa, that's very interesting what you're doing. I'd like to learn. And he said, are you serious? I said, yeah, you know. So he gave me a spare guitar, and he said to me, well, why don't you play the notes, and then I'll teach you the chords later. And he'd show me what to play. And I started to get real interested in this, and I lost interest in the chords. Thus, the bass came to play, you know, that was more where I lived. Aretha Franklin's band was playing, and at Small's Paradise. And I used to go outside at the end, like we'd have our meetings on Friday nights, and it would end around 9 o'clock. I'd go to his house, and we'd do a little playing, and then I would go with milk crates to the clubs. I was too young to get in. And I'd sit down outside and listen to the band, and I would get to talk to them when they came outside, you know, for a break, to have a smoke or whatever. And I would ask them questions like, how did you do that? What are you doing? How do you get started? And my mom would get nervous in the Bronx, and she'd get on the subway and come down and find me sitting there and slap me upside the head, get home. When I'm putting something together, the last person I think of is me. You know, I was so nervous and worried about everyone else getting the songs in. Actually, we rehearsed my song last. You know, everyone was concerned, you know, am I going to get my songs in? I said, don't worry about it. So I said, I tell you what, we'll rehearse your stuff first. So if we run out of time at the rehearsal, yeah, because I believe there's time and place for everyone. And I believe if you're confident within yourself, you don't have to cut other people. And I also believe the success of any kind of form of music depends on people's solidarity and teamwork. So I could walk in there easily and go, well, it's the crunch, I'm the band leader, we're doing my songs, but that's not gonna make it happen, you know what I mean? So we did my song last, and hence my stuff came at the end of the show.
volunteer slavery is something that we all know. Volunteer slavery is something that we all know. Oh, volunteer slavery, volunteer slavery, oh, volunteer slavery, slavery, oh, volunteer slavery, oh, volunteer slavery, oh, volunteer slavery, slavery.
Will you move your hips from the people from side to side? Sit your head down in your car and hang around. Now you're moving rock steady, baby. Let's call the song exactly what it is. What it is, what it is, what it is. It's a song that's blowing out the ears. What it is, from left to right. What it is, how I be doing. What it is, this funky dance hall.
Yeah, well, the Funkadelics was a major influence when I was a kid. Sly, you know, Hendrix obviously influenced a lot of people. I mean, Bootsy, you know, he's a friend of mine, you know, but I mean, that stuff that they put down is just ridiculous. And if you realize that those are also cross-sections of different influences of rock, funk. I mean, stuff is amazing. Then you had Mother's Finest that was quite famous in Europe, but nothing happened here. Again, because they crossed those boundaries of people's formats. Amazing band.
One thing right off the bat that Hendrix did for me was, because he was like the lone influence in a whole genre of music. You know, he was the one guy there who even though they called him a rock guitar player, he became famous. Really it was electric blues. To me, I mean, the sound was blues. I mean, down to the bone, it was blues. He validated a certain kind of freedom for me that didn't really totally exist in that music. Jim Morrison was somebody else. You know, when I heard his music, I said, well, this cat, you know, he's just like free. You know, he's not inhibited. If the poem rhymes or not, you know, it's just going on like, you know, Indian, you know, raga or something like that. And people like that, you know, Carlos Santana, you know, mixing the Latin rhythms with the rock thing, you know, it just those people just showed me possibilities that the Beatles, you know, they got like they used to do Remember, I am the Eggman, I am the wall. You know, you mixing all kind of like sounds in there, you know, it's just creativity, you know?
Being from a rock and roll generation, growing up from Jimi Hendrix and Sly Stone and James Brown, these were just as much my idols as John Coltrane and Miles Davis. And so I have a combination of things working here, and me being a horn player, how could I do Jimi Hendrix without, you know, getting some guitar players? I mean, and this is what Defunct is, it's that combination. I mean, I like rock and roll. I mean, I was at Woodstock, so I grew up in rock and roll, but I also grew up in jazz.
I like stuff that has a positive outlook on life, you know, and especially like writers, you know, like John Hyde, you know, I think he was a great writer. Bob Dylan, of course, the Beatles, you know, especially the early Beatles with Lennon and McCartney, you know. See, that's what I'm talking about. You know, I like writers that write and really says something, you know. And it's lots of songs you can name, like Living Color, for example. You know, they got tunes like Open Letter to a Landlord, stuff like that. You know, we like songs that really strike a consciousness. You know.
I mean, I was influenced by Dylan at an early age. Like I said, when I first got the guitar, my brother learned to play guitar in Vietnam, and Dylan was one of the main things he learned. So I learned a lot of Dylan songs as a kid, you know, Dylan and Simon and Garfunkel. That was some of the first stuff I played, that along with James Brown, you know. Those were like some of the first things I played on the guitar, James Brown and Simon and Garfunkel, you know, so. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, get on up, get up, get on up, get up, get on up, get on up. Use your phone, and use your phone. Gotta stay on the scene, like a sex machine. You got to have a feeling, just as sure as you're born. Yo, get it together, right on, 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 right on. Get up, get on up. Get on up, get on the scene, get on up, get on up, get on up, get on up now, get on up, get on the scene, get on up, the machine, get on up, yo, you say, you got the feeling, I bet the feeling, just want you where I want, give me fever, make a cold sweat, yeah, the way I like it, is the way it is. I said, I got mad. Don't worry about his sound. Sing it now. Get up, get on up, get up, get on up, get on the scene, get on up, like a love machine. Get on up, oh, get up, get on up, get on up now. Get on up, get on the scene, get on up, like a love machine. Get on up, get funky T. Yeah! Wanna get funky T? Yeah! Wanna get funky? Yeah! Why you hang on? The tradition of black music, intuition plays a very important part of the music. When you start talking about improvisation and you talk about group improvisation, intuition is a very strong part of that, understanding where someone is going musically. You also see it very prevalent when you see African Americans who play basketball, and the way that they create plays as they move down the court and they're going to pass to this man and pass to that man. It's not that they know who they're going to pass through. They like intuitively know what they're going to do. They have a common goal, which is getting the ball in the basket, and they know that they all have to work together. And there's a certain rhythm that's created as they're bouncing the ball, which is setting up a rhythm. They're running, that's another polyrhythm. And passing the ball around and knowing the ball is going to be passed to and how they're going to deal with that is an intuitive thing. You know, overcoming the defense of somebody block, like you might pass to some guy that he can't make the shot, so he passes to someone else. And all of this is done in split-second time. And it's the same thing that the music is about. The polyrhythms in the music also represent the same fine-tuning of the intuitive mind. So it's through intuition that we understand these rhythms and that we understand the calling.
And let me hear you bring your sound. Jump on me, jump on me, jump on me. Do it till we get home. Can we get a drummer sound? Can we get a drummer sound? Go on, Tony. You got it.
Now go home.
Crunch! Crunch! TM, Stevens, let them hear it. This is it. Y'all can go home and eat your shredded wheat. Bernie Worrell. We had Larry Mitchell, Tony Smith, Crystal. Damn it, somebody else. Everybody. We'd like to make a special thanks to Rocklife in Cologne, Germany, and Peter Russell, Nicholas Russell, and Christian Wagner. Peace.